Hey guys, it's Britt. Today I'm here to put some makeup on and talk to you guys about YouTube rewarding really problematic behavior. I had quite a few thoughts about it, so if you are interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, I almost started my video like, hey guys, it's Britt from It's Britt Glow. Just to be extra phony, I'm using my Treat Beauty lip balm. So I was supposed to get my Sephora order because I ordered the new Hourglass Infinity powder, which I was excited about. It said it would be here today, but now USPS isn't showing that it's even picked up, so that's kind of annoying. Sephora usually uses laser ship, so I thought it was interesting that they used USPS, so I don't know if that caused a delay or what. I think today I'm going to use one of my Roen quads. So I do need to use a primer with those though, so I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm going to need to pick up a backup of that eyeshadow primer. It's really good. If you guys have used the Urban Decay primer potion or the Too Faced primer, next time you're at the drugstore, get the one from Milani. It is literally the same thing, and I think it's like $6 or $7. Same formula, same longevity, the whole shebang. I'm going to use the warm quad today because I also want to use the summer disco. I'm going to go in with this one, the more like terracotta color. So I want to talk for a few minutes about Nikocado Avocado. Did you guys watch I will link it in my description as long as I remember, the Right Opinion, who I subscribe to, did literally like a 4.5 hour video on Nikocado Avocado, and yes, I watched the whole thing. Nikocado is someone who I will not support directly, so I will watch other creators react to or talk about him. And you know, call that what you will. But he is someone who just, I really do not understand why YouTube is still allowing him to post the kind of content that he's posting. In fact, I haven't looked in a while. I'll throw up a screen grab over here of some of his recent uploads. You know, a lot of people talk about Nikocado for the wrong reasons, either attacking his weight or, you know, just talking about petty stuff. Now, do I think that his weight and his health is a problem? Absolutely. But I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist, so that's not my place to, you know, dissect his weight gain. I don't look at that as something that I'm in a place to critique. The thing that I have more of a problem with is the content that he's posting, glamorizing domestic V. I won't say the word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you have watched anything in the past 6 months about him, that is all that people are talking about. I don't know if I need to use this with my finger. This is the Summer Disco. Yeah, you know, the fact that he is making so much money on YouTube doing the things that he is doing is just baffling to me. And when it comes to these larger creators posting this type of content, if you think of like the Jake Pauls and the Tana Mongeaus, those creators are not flying under YouTube's radar, okay? And that's, I think, the thing that is frustrating to someone like me it's like, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and heavily edit my videos to make sure that I'm not really directly saying anything that could get me in trouble. But then you have people like them making millions by posting the very things that I avoid putting in my videos. And it's not even a jealousy thing, because frankly, you know, I don't think that you can trust anything that these influencers or YouTubers put out anyway. So who knows if they're even happy? Who knows, you know, what is really going on? So it's not a jealousy thing at all, but it's just like, why are these people allowed to make so much money by glamorizing really problematic stuff? That's what I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this VDL iBook Mono Expert Color eyeshadow in Rich Gold. This is a good chunky gold glitter shadow. And I know some people look at the content that Nick is putting out and they just think that it's funny, or they're mocking it, or whatever. And some of it, you know, like the stop feeding the cats.
There's a lady behind me feeding cats! She's feeding the stray cats! Don't feed the stop feeding the cats! Stop feeding the cats! Stop feeding the cats! No! Feeding the stray kittens! No! Don't feed the cats! She's feeding the cats! You can see her feeding the cats!
Clip, if you guys have seen that, he's like freaking out and he's sitting in his car like, stop feeding the cats, and he's like having this whole mental, you know, fiasco, freaking out and all of this kind of stuff. When you look at that clip, you know, it makes me laugh. Like, it is funny, but the majority of what he's posting is not funny. I'm gonna share with you guys a story that, it's not a story, it's real life, but for those of you who don't know, which most of you probably don't, some of you might be able to assume it, but Axel, my dog, has an Instagram page. And on his Instagram page, I have been able to connect with really amazing fellow lab owners, fellow dog owners. You know, it's a really, really cool community. And the other day, and this whole story ties into Domestic V being glamorized by Nick Avocado. The other day I logged into his Instagram and I saw a picture of a young girl and her chocolate lab. I think the dog, well, I don't really want to say the dog's name because I don't want to out her story, because I'm just telling you guys this for context. It's a girl and she had a chocolate lab, and the post was saying, rest in peace, you know, gone too soon. And I messaged the person that posted it and I said, what in the world happened? And essentially this girl was in a really, really bad relationship, and her husband, from what I've gathered, she was able to leave him, but he went to the place that she was residing at and broke into the house and got rid of her and her dog. So I don't want to cry, but that is so sad. And you know, these are real life situations that are happening to people who are in really bad relationships. So when I see, YouTube, because I do think YouTube is partially to blame for not putting a stop to Nikocado Avocado, when I see them allowing monetization on videos like this, whether they're real or fake, which I'm pretty sure they are fake, but that's besides the point, that is setting an example that this is okay. YouTube thinks that it's acceptable. YouTube thinks that it's okay for this type of content to be entertainment for people, but it's not entertainment. It's not funny. It's not comical. It's not any of those things. So for me, I relate it back to real life situations, and I think that it's disgusting that it's continued to be able to be so many videos. Like Nick Avocado has numerous channels and he posts numerous videos across all of his channels. So this is not like, oh, well, it was one video, he hasn't done it since then. This is like a snowball effect, and it's only gotten worse with time. And I don't even know why or how this whole idea of fighting on camera came to the table. Like, why was that ever an idea? Why was that ever going to be something that content was going to be made around? Obviously, you know, there's one video and they see the views and the money and it just continues, but it's like, who wants to do that every day? I wouldn't. And I realized, you know, I'm not like everyone else. Everyone else isn't like me, and that's fine. But it's just like, it would be so tiring. And that's what I've said in other videos that I've made regarding this situation. I would get tired of it. I would be like, no, I don't want to pretend like we're not getting along today. These influencers, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, it seems like as of the last year or so, they're all influencing bad behavior. And by platforms allowing it to happen, like YouTube, YouTube is telling everyone, okay, this is fine, you can do this. If you have enough subscribers and you're popular enough, you can do whatever you want on our platform and you will not be penalized for it. You know, you have people who talk about, I remember when 13 Reasons Why first came out, the first season, and the whole thing with Hannah Baker, you guys know what I'm talking about. People made such a fuss about that the producers of the show ended up cutting that part out of the final episode because of it promoting, you know, that as, you know, whatever you want to call it. So it was removed. So why doesn't YouTube decide to take the high road and say, we're no longer going to allow this kind of bad behavior to be promoted to the audience of YouTube? You've got Jake Paul over there promoting, you know, sex to kids, and Nick Avocado with the whole domestic issues, Tana Mongeau being just an all-around bad person. And I know people like Tana and people like Trisha Paytas. I do not see the entertainment factor in either of them. And people will say, oh, well, it's just like, you know, they don't care. They don't care what anyone thinks. And that's true. You know, they don't care what anyone thinks. But I think that the problem comes along when you have a really young audience copying all of the things that you're doing that you don't care about because you have money and power, and nothing will be done to you. And I do agree with having that stance of like, you know, don't care too much about what people think about you. But I relate that more to, you know, being outspoken or wearing what you want to wear or having, you know, your own style. I don't relay that to insulting entire communities of people and, you know, faking or, you know, I don't want to say faking, but exaggerating mental health issues for monetary gain. This shit is just not a good look. I'm not someone who's just super uptight and, you know, can't look at things in a different light or anything like that. But I don't think that looking at this kind of content has anything to do with putting it in a different light or looking at it from the other side of the road or anything like that. So one of you guys asked me, I think it was yesterday, what is a foundation that I would recommend for someone who wants a little more coverage than what MAC Face and Body or a tinted moisturizer might offer? And I love MAC Face and Body. That's what I wear, I would say 80% of the time if I had to put a number on it. But if there are days where I want a little more coverage and maybe not as much dew as what Face and Body gives me, I would recommend the EX1 Invisiwear Foundation. What's really nice about this foundation is the undertones cater to olive skin. So they have really light shades and really deep shades, but the undertones are best suited for people with olive tone skin. So I've been using this for years. I love it. The shade that I'm going to use today is shade number 10. I take about one pump. That's about one pump. And then I will mix in some of my Mercier foundation primer in Radiance. Just a little bit. It doesn't knock down the coverage or anything like that, but it does add that little bit of reflect. And I don't have any problems with this breaking me out. That's the issue with a lot of foundations with me, especially if they have SPF, is they will end up breaking me out bad. So the EX1 Invisiwear is really nice. Nobody ever talks about it. I don't know why. That's like an old school YouTube product. I forget who I heard talk about it first. It might have not even been YouTube. But it is so nice on the skin. I would say it has a natural finish. It's not matte. It offers really nice coverage. It wears nice. But it does not break me out, which is really nice. You know, most people are done with acne by the time they're in their, you know, early 20s. And it is so frustrating to keep dealing with acne. And I have to say, like, my acne is a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. There are products that still make me break out. Dang it, I really wanted that Hourglass powder to come. Maybe it'll come this afternoon and I can use it in a video tomorrow. It said it would be here Friday. And that's like specifically why I placed my order on Sephora when I did, because it said if you order within the next 2 hours, it will be delivered Friday. Okay, I'm gonna use some BH Stellar Lash. This is a nice mascara. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Oh, actually, let me do my lower lash line. Here's the thing with my lower lash line. If I want it to not be super blown out and extra smoky, I'll use my pencil brush. If I want it to be very blown out and more dramatic, then I will use my MAC 217. Those are the only two brushes I ever use on my lower lash line, just because I don't really need a whole lot of brushes for my lower lash line. I am not someone who buys a ton of makeup brushes. That's just not a category of makeup that I am consistently looking at new brushes. Once in a while, I'll grab a new one, but typically I have what I need when it comes to what I use day to day. But yeah, you know, the whole thing with Nikocado Avocado is just, it's sad at the end of the day. When you really step back and look at it, it's just a sad situation. Whether or not it's all fake or part of it is fake or whatever. When you look at his video titles, it's like, Orland's leaving. Do we still love each other? We're saving our marriage. Orland cheated. I cheated. I wasn't allowed to post this video. All of these titles are just exhausting. And I don't know if they're like, are there actual people who tune in because they still like him, or is it just people watching the train wreck at this point? But you can tell he really knows how to manipulate situations, because when you see video clips of him not acting crazy, when he's not, you know, putting on this act, he's a very normal guy, okay? He speaks normally and he knows how to laugh and have fun and be polite. So the whole thing is just manipulation 101. And like I said, to me, maybe I'm the odd one out, but I think it's ridiculous that YouTube is allowing them to just laugh all the way to the bank. And like I said, this isn't one video that flew under the radar. Maybe it's 2 or 3 that he's a small channel, people won't pick up on it. He has a massive following. And I actually saw the other day that Manscaped did a sponsor video with him. And no shade to Peter Mon, because Peter has done sponsor content with Manscaped, but I've heard from people who have purchased that, that are not on YouTube, that the trimmer is junk. Like, it's totally junk. But it's like, what kind of message is Manscaped sending out? Who the fuck is gonna sponsor Nikocado Avocado with this kind of content that he's putting out? Like, that says a lot. That says a lot to me about the brand. I don't care how many subscribers you have. You're putting out content like that. I would never want to sponsor someone like that. If there's one thing that I've learned over the past little while on YouTube, it's that obviously companies only care about that almighty dollar. Same with a lot of YouTubers. And you know, when you have companies like that Bang energy drink working with someone like Daniel Cohn, that should tell you all that you need to know. You have a company sponsoring a minor to show energy drinks. Like, the fuck is wrong with people? Okay, so I'm going to use some Faded Clementine from M Cosmetics. This is really pretty. They sell it as a blush, but I sort of use it like, I don't know, I just dust it everywhere. Not everywhere, but on the high points. Okay, and then for highlight, I am gonna use some Euphoric Strobe Light from Hourglass. So perfect, I love that one. Okay, before I do my brows, I'm gonna do the Milani Fruit Fetish in Kiwi Watermelon. Little lip balm. These are more like a gloss. They're not even like a lip balm. And then some Jouer Essential Lip Balm in Champagne Kiss. So I ended up just taking some NYX Toast and putting it with the lip balm. It's a little too pale with like no lip pencil. So anyway, yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Just some open thoughts about Nikocado Avocado. I don't know. I think that it's setting an example when a platform like YouTube is heavily rewarding this kind of behavior, and it goes for him, but also everyone else that you might associate with that kind of behavior on YouTube. So anyway, just some of my thoughts. If you guys like this video, please leave me a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.